Alright, hey, we're in the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge on Chapter 4. This will be page 4-2, Thrust. For an aircraft to move, thrust must be exerted and be greater than drag. The aircraft will continue to move and gain speed until thrust and drag are equal. In order to maintain a constant airspeed, thrust and drag must remain equal, just as lift and weight must be equal to maintain a constant altitude. If in level flight the engine power is reduced, the thrust is lessened and the aircraft slows down. As long as the thrust is less than the drag, the aircraft continues to decelerate until its airspeed is insufficient to support it in the air. Likewise, if the engine power is increased, thrust becomes greater than drag and the airspeed increases. As long as the thrust continues to be greater than the drag, the aircraft continues to accelerate. When drag equals thrust, the aircraft flies at a constant airspeed. Straight level flight may be sustained at a wide range of speed. The pilot coordinates the angle of attack, the AOA, the acute angle between the chord line of the airfoil and the direction of the relative wind, and thrust in all speed regimes if the aircraft is to be held in level flight. Roughly, these regimes can be grouped in three categories: low speed flight, cruising flight, and high speed flight. When the airspeed is low, the angle of attack must be relatively high if the balance between lift and weight is to be maintained. If the thrust decreases and airspeed decreases, lift becomes less than weight and the aircraft starts to descend. To maintain level flight, the pilot can increase the angle of attack, an amount which will generate a lift force equal to the weight of the aircraft. While the aircraft will be flying more slowly, it will still maintain level flight if the pilot has properly coordinated thrust and angle of attack. Straight and level flight in low speed regime provides some interesting conditions relative to the equilibrium of forces. Because the aircraft in a nose-high altitude, there is a vertical component of thrust that helps support it. For one thing, wing loading tends to be less than would be expected. Most pilots are aware that an airplane will stall, other conditions being equal, at a slower speed with the power on than with the power off. Induced airflow over the wings from the propeller also contributes to this. However, if analysis is restricted to the four forces that they usually define during slow speed flight, the thrust is equal to drag and lift is equal to weight. During straight and level flight, when thrust is increased and the airspeed increases, the angle of attack must be decreased. That is, if changes have been coordinated, the aircraft will remain in level flight, but at higher speeds when the proper relationship between thrust and angle of attack is established. If the angle of attack were not coordinated, decreased, with an increase in thrust, the aircraft would climb, but decreasing the angle of attack modifies the lift, keeping it equal to the weight, and the aircraft remains in level flight. Level flight at even slightly negative angle of attack is possible at very high speeds. It is evident then that level flight can be performed with any angle of attack between stalling angle and the relative small negative angles found at high speed. Some aircraft have the ability to change the direction of thrust rather than changing the angle of attack. This is accomplished either by pivoting the engines or by vectoring the exhaust gases. Alright, so that's it for thrust. Let's see what kind of pictures we got. So we got some aircraft have the ability to change their direction of thrust. There's your Harrier. And there's your, I forgot the name of it, Osprey? Maybe. And there's your angles of attack. Okay. So we'll stop right there. That was thrust on 4.2 and 4.3. See ya.